Namaskar. I'm Shruti Jauhari and we will be talking in Shruti Samvaad about the basics or elements of Hindustani classical music. India is a fortunate nation to be having not one but two genres of classical music. In North, we practice the North Indian or the Hindustani style, and in South, we practice the Carnatic style. When we look at them, apparently they do seem to be very different from each other, but really speaking, when you start tracing their roots, you find that they are just like two sisters that have diverted their path in between somewhere. So conceptually they are very similar to each other. Now, as far as the history of Indian music tradition goes, it's a very, very old and ancient music system and a very refined and evolved one. If we talk very briefly about the Vedic music, which is about 4,000 years old, we had the concept of Shrutis or microtones. We had the 7 notes, of course, and we also had not one but 3 musical scales, which sound strange now. So ancient Indian music had not just one set of 7 notes but 3 set of 7 notes. Of course, with time we had to reduce and we have now got just one scale. In this series, I am going to first discuss the very basics of the system, and we will start with a term called sound or dhvani. Sound is a very general term and it's a form of energy actually, and it is a perception of hearing. So when there is some activity, sound is created, then it transfers through some medium, probably through the air, and then it hits the human eardrum and we have a sense of hearing. Very briefly, this is how sound is created, propagated and perceived. Then when we look at the variety of sounds, we find many types of sounds. So we have the sound of insects, we have the sound of the various objects like maybe the drum or a bus horn or the breeze or the waterfall or somebody singing. All of them are sounds, or somebody crying or somebody screaming. This is all sound. So sound is a very, very general term. But when a sound gets musical character in it and gets some amount of sustenance and uniformity, then it becomes a musical sound. So for example, while speaking, which is what I'm right now doing is I'm creating sound. Let me just wait on one of the points and you see that the sound suddenly becomes musical. So in this way you've seen that when I said this term, the sound suddenly got a kind of a musicality. When this character is achieved by any sound, it is known as Naad. So Naad is a musical sound if you simply define it, and this is an important element or aspect of our Indian scriptures. We have said that Naad is like Brahma. So the attainment of Naad is like attainment of God Almighty. So any sound that is musical in character is Naad. Now let us start getting into the depths of Naad or musical sound. Musical sound or Naad has been described of 2 varieties. One is the Ahat Naad and the other is the Anahat Naad. Ahat Naad is the Naad or musical sound that is generated by a collision of 2 bodies. And Anahat Naad is more of an abstract sound which the subconscious mind experiences, probably during meditation. We will now start to understand the details of musical sound or Naads and what are the variety of such Naads. So the next point which we are going to discuss is Shrutis.